Nevertheless, if we're going to solve problems, we have to tell the truth about what's going on.
Peace, 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 peace. I'm Rami Salam. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. Oh, now we're going to get to it. The rise of the Moors, Taj Tarik Bey, government plants, false flags. What's going on, Rami? Who are Moors? Who are true Moors, true Moorish Americans? What are we supposed to be doing? Who should we be listening to? Where's the leadership? What's going on? We're going to get to all that. But before we get to the clips, before we break it down, I want you to just keep something in your mind. I want you to listen very closely to the questions being asked and then the responses or answers to the questions. Listen to the question being asked and then the responses. And I don't even want to give away one of the issues. I just want to put that out there just for some context. And then when we go through it, hopefully, God willing, you'll be able to see with your own eyes and hear with your own ears. All right, so let's get to the clips.
Here's a question, just a good question from Ernest Lockett. Brother Taj, if all these words you speak are true, what did the 11 Massachusetts Moors do wrong that the treaty or treaties are not helping them be freed?
You're you're dealing with a de facto platform. Is that not true? You're dealing with organized criminals who, since 1861, violated the Constitution to overthrow the Republic so they would not have to honor the treaties. What do you see going on? I'll tell you what you see going on. You see a false flag, and I guarantee you a couple of people among them are plants. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Now, you heard the question and then you heard the response to the question. But if you notice, Taj Tarik Bey, he didn't respond by answering the question. He responded with another question and then another question and answered that question. He didn't actually answer the question that was asked. And this applies, this is bigger than Taj Tarik Bey. This is just a teacher moment that I want us to focus on this video and just in general. Pay attention when someone is asked a direct question and they don't give a direct answer. And more importantly, when someone is asked a direct question and they respond with a question. You can't answer the question with a question. You know what I mean? So we have to pay attention to that. Be careful of that, because usually, from my experience, especially just working with people on a day-to-day, usually when you ask someone a direct question and they can't respond or they don't respond with a direct answer to that question, they're trying to deflect or move away from whatever that issue is, that direct issue that's on the table. So as we proceed through this video, I want you to pay attention to the question that was asked and then listen very carefully to the response that was given and see, don't believe me, see for yourself and hear for yourself if the response actually answers the direct question that was asked. Okay? That's something that we got to focus on. Now, addressing what Taj actually said. He made a claim that it was a false flag and that among the Rise of the Moors group, there was several people that are plants. I'm assuming government plants. Some sort of government agent, probably agent provocateur, planted within the group. The question I'm asking for everyone, Taj, but anyone watching, where's the evidence? Where's the proof? Because he said that is a fact. Now, that's a claim he put on the record. If it is a fact, where is the proof? Where is the proof that that incident was a quote-unquote false flag? Where is the evidence that that incident with the Rise of the Moors militia group in Wakefield on I-95 was a false flag? The evidence, not my beliefs or my feelings or my opinion, but the actual evidence, not Taj's feelings or beliefs, what he thinks, but the evidence. I'm being very specific. If he's saying that there are plants within that group, where's the evidence? Where's the proof of this? Now, this is me talking my opinion now as Rami. My opinion, well, I'm going to hold my opinion on that group. But I would like to see the evidence of that. I do know it's important to not make false accusations about someone unless you can provide the evidence. So I would like to see the evidence, the proof that it was a false flag, the evidence and the proof that there were government plans, or are government plans in the Rise of the Moors militia group. Maybe there is. I'm not claiming that there is or there is not. I'm simply saying, did Taj Tarik Bey present the evidence or the proof of that? Can Taj Tarik Bey or anyone else present evidence or proof that this is true, that this is a fact? If we can't, we shouldn't be saying this is a fact. We can state that's your opinion, that's what you believe, that's what you feel, what you think. We have to be careful not to say it's a fact if we don't have the evidence and the proofs to back up that claim. All right, let's move on to a part of the clip where he was speaking directly, responding to a question I asked directly. All right.
Whoever IAMHH Temple is says, why is Taj Tarik Bey speaking for hours on YouTube instead of going straight to the courthouse? What happened to unity?
What courthouse? There are no lawful courts operating at North America since 1789. Therefore, among Moors who are the real people of the land, we've been activating consular court, i.e. Article 3, constitutional principle courts that supersede even the adoption of that constitution, for we're the heirs of the land. So how dare you make such false claims?
Now, did you hear that? Did you catch that? I asked the question directly to Taj Tarik Bey. By the way, it's me, IAMHH Temple, Rami. Okay? But I asked him a question directly. And did he respond? Did he answer the question I asked? Did he? I asked, instead of being on YouTube, why aren't you going down to the courthouse? And to give a fuller context, it's because Taj Tarik Bey, as many may know, has been for years and years teaching about knowledge and law and what's legal and constitution and treaties. And he has, he claims and is very well known to be well studied and super knowledgeable about the law. So here is an example. Here is the perfect time to actually apply that information, to actually be about what you've been talking about. And so that's the full context of the question. And what was his response? What courts? There are no constitutional court. But see, I didn't ask about constitutional courts. And nah. The Rise of the Moor militia group, they are in Malden District Court, okay? Malden District Court in Massachusetts. So that is where they are. They actually have a court date tomorrow, August 9th, 2021. But that's where they are. But the real truth is, unfortunately, and as much as I love and appreciate all the information that Taj has put forth, but unfortunately, Taj has taken the role of someone that's just pointing the way. It's like, one second. The Quran here, from Noble Drew Ali, says, the man who stands upon the corners of the paths and points the way but does not go is just a pointer, and a block of wood can do the same. The teacher treads the way. On every span of ground he leaves his footprints clearly cut, which all can see and be assured that he, their master, went that way. And Taj Tarik Bey is well known. Many people have called him a master teacher. Well, here's an example for the master teacher, Taj Tarik Bey, all due respect, to not point the way, but actually walk the walk and show and prove that the knowledge and information that he's been talking about can be applied, and it can be effective, and it can get us freedom. Right? Walk the walk. Put this information to the test. Show and prove if this is right and exact. If this is right and exact. why wouldn't this be the perfect opportune time? Unfortunately, in my opinion now, Rami speaking, I feel that the methods and the direction that Taj Tarik Bey and also the rise of the Moors and also many of these other individuals and groups that have created these own organizations separate from the Moorish Science Temple of America, splinter groups from the Moorish Science Temple. I believe all of them, while having some valid information or some good information, they're not Noble Drew Ali. That's not the right path. We're not supposed to be following Taj Tarik Bey because he's not the prophet, a true and divine prophet. We're not supposed to be following the people in Canada or this militia group because that's not what true Moorish Americans are supposed to be about. What true Moors are supposed to be about. We're supposed to be about uplifting fallen humanity. We're supposed to be about love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Noble Drew Ali never mentioned a militia. Not a once. We need to follow Noble Drew Ali's teachings. Respect the Taj Tarik Bey, but Taj Tarik Bey is not Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We need to get that right. Let's continue. My bad. Before we continue, I did want to address the second part of what he said because it's important. I want to make sure that we're clear. He said, therefore, Moors are activating the consular courts. That's what he said. Moors is activating the consular courts. But what is a quote-unquote consular court? Taj Tarik Bey already spoke about it in the video previously. So let's listen and be clear what he's actually saying.
So Will Ramirez says, do we have a consular court? What is the official outside support when challenged by interlopers?
This is what happens. The consular court is your state of mind.
So just to summarize before we move forward, the direct question to Taj was, how come he's on YouTube making videos for hours and hours instead of going directly to the courthouse to free the rise of the Moors and, defend them, etc., 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 right? Didn't actually answer the question, but then he, at the tail end, he said, therefore, us Moors are activating the consular court. But then he goes on to explain that the consular court is a state of mind. So, the answer in a very roundabout way is that, well, he doesn't know where the constitutional courts are. So instead of going to the courthouse to actually apply this information in real time, in the flesh and not online and via YouTube videos, instead of doing that, he's going to activate the consular court, which is the state of mind. So he's going to activate his state of mind. And I guess Moors that believe in that ideology or that solution are also going to be activating their mind. Personally, now this is me speaking personally, I don't believe that solution is going to be effective in helping the rise of the Moors if that's what you're interested in doing. And I think if we're being honest with ourselves, that answer is not very, But let's continue.
Here we go again. Butcherbird says, and I'm thinking this is directed towards you because it says it's written, why ain't you, CHU, doing something about Jamal with 1,000 question marks in it?
Why ain't Jamal doing something about Jamal?
Okay.
That's the same knowledge.
Okay.
We've talked in the past. And as a matter of fact, people directly try to talk directly to them and for people who so-called claim to represent them. And they said they had their thing covered. So they've got competent people among themselves. So why don't you call Jamal?
So this last piece I just wanted to put on the record, just so that we all know moving forward, okay, Taj, puts out information, as he said before. You know, he's a researcher and he provides people with the information, but everybody got to bear their own cross. Everybody has to be responsible for their own actions. As we can see in real time, you know, this information about the treaties and laws and consular courts and constitutions and section, all of that, okay, great information. But when the rubber meets the road, when it's time to show and prove, when things get a little, you know what I mean, when it's time for Moors, when it's time for people to show up, it's clear that Taj Tarik Bey is not going to be one of those individuals. And this is not a knock to Taj, or this is not a slight to Taj, but this is more so making sure that everyone understands what's going on so that people are not misled, so people don't get charged up, get a battery in their back to go do something, thinking, oh yeah, well, the master teacher, Taj, he'll come hold me down. If I get into some things, yeah, the Moors will come. That's not what this is all about. And people have, for far too long, allowed for this to go on without anyone addressing things, without us being accountable. You know what I mean? And we have to be accountable. We have to stop misleading people. We have to stop setting up people to go on dummy missions. We have to stop believing that Taj Tarik Bey and other people are in these leadership positions for the Moorish movement, or there's some sort of official grand sheik when they are not. We have to be honest with ourselves about that. You know what I mean? And also, we have to put the people that are worthy and have shown and proven that they are capable. We have to organize and put those people in position. And then we can hold those people accountable. But we can't continue faking the funk. You know what I mean? We cannot continue playing this game, making it seem like one thing on the internet and these social medias, but in reality, it's not that. You know what I mean? We got to be real. We got to keep it real. You feel me? And so in closing, man, you know, that's partly why I read the piece from the Quran. We have to stop just looking at people who are just pointing the way and telling people where to go. If they're a true leader, they're going to walk their path and make their steps clearly cut so everybody know, oh, that's what they're about. They walking this way. Well, what are you about, Rami? You've been talking about, well, what are you about? I'm glad you asked that. Let me give you a direct answer. I am about following what Noble Drew Ali said. Why? Because he is the prophet. I am sincerely about the truth. That's why I'm doing this video. It's not to slight Taj, or it's not some, oh, he's not down. Nah, it's about the truth. It's about following the true and divine prophet. It's about not playing games with this movement. So, what am I doing? I'm doing my best to inform all true Moorish Americans that we need to follow Noble Drew Ali. We fell off. We got off our path. We need to get back right. And at the foundation of that, at the core, the center of that, is following Noble Drew Ali's teachings. Not worshiping the man, following the teachings. Because he's a true and divine prophet sent by Allah, our creator. I hope that clears up some things for you. If you have any more questions, you want to ask me directly, you can email me at iamhhtemple@gmail.com, or you can jump in the comment section. I'll be there. Be respectful if you could. That's all I'm saying. Show some love. And to Taj and to other elders, anyone that may see this, let's be honest. Let's direct Moorish Americans, true Moors, to follow Noble Drew Ali's teachings. Because that is the true and divine prophet. He is the founder and the leader of this Moorish divine and national movement. Islam? Islam? All right. Much love to you. Keep shining. Study Noble Drew Ali. And love instead of hate. Because love is the key. Love is the way. Thank you for watching. And you have a great day. Ooh, wait. That rhymed, ain't it?
That was great.
Peace.